Hi students, welcome back. Let us continue with the deployment models. So in the previous video I explained about the public cloud. Now let us see about the private cloud. Actually there are certain services and models that are working behind the scene, making the cloud computing feasible and accessible to the end users, so which I already explained. So the working models for this cloud computing behind the scene was deployment model and the service model. So the deployment models are of four types: the public, private, hybrid and community models. So I already explained about the public cloud. Now let us see what is a private cloud. So here the name saying that private means a privacy is there. So it not visible, it not accessible by all the people. So the data that wants to be secure, that wants to be important information, which is not shared to everyone, that type of data will be placed on the private cloud. Now let us see. A private cloud, it allows system and services to be accessible within an organization. So the main thing here is whereas public cloud, the data will be placed, the systems and services will be accessed by anyone can access. But here in the private cloud, the data and the services to be accessed within an organization. It can be managed internally by organization itself or a third party. So the data can be organized by internal organization. You can manage the data, or else you hand over all your relevant information to a third party so that the third party can maintain your data secure. Okay, so that is about the private cloud. So you can maintain your data within an organization, and you can manage internally by organization itself or by third party. So just like you are saving your jewelry and whatever, if you store in at your home in a locker, or you can go trust on a third party like the banker. So where in the bank you can place your valuable information, the jewelry and whatever the documents in the locker. So that is a private information. You are not showing to anyone. Okay. So in the private cloud you are having, so this is a cloud which is a private, which can be accessible within an organization, or you can manage everything with the help of a third party. So your applications, your information will be stored, your applications are stored, and enterprise IT resources, all your enterprise IT resources will be stored, which are the virtualized infrastructure, cloud operating system, cloud internetwork, enterprises infrastructure network server storage, as well as the provider infrastructure network server storage. Everything will be managed internally by the organization. Suppose it is a small organization, you can manage everything in your organization itself. Otherwise, if it is a big organization, if you are having a trouble to manage the relevant the valuable information within an organization, you just trust on third party and manage every information there. So here in that server you are having the private information like your company informations and your applications, and all IT resources and the network server storages which are provided by the enterprises as well as the providers. Everything will be stored on the cloud. So that will be maintained privately. So this is a private cloud. A private cloud can be organized by company itself or by trusting the third party. Suppose let us take a Microsoft. So a Microsoft company is a company which is having their own cloud. Okay, so in that they can place their relevant information on private cloud by using private cloud. So their own cloud, okay, their own organization itself, they are maintaining their information in their organization itself, or else they can trust on third party. A third party is having a cloud. In that cloud they are maintaining one private cloud, they are hiring that private cloud. In the third party cloud they are hiring the private cloud. So pay as you go. So just paying and storing the information there in the third party. So that is a third party is nothing but cloud providers, cloud service providers. So with the rather than storing their own means buying their own cloud, they are just storing their relevant the important information on third party, that is hiding the cloud service providers. There they are hiding the separate server. So for that they can pay how much they can use. So that is the use of the private cloud. So here you have to note that a private cloud, you can it allows the system and services to be accessible within an organization, or you can hire with the help of the third party. You can manage with the help of the third party. So rather, if it is a small organization, means every time you're buying the servers and maintaining is very difficult. So rather than buying and storing your own data in your organization, you just trust on the third party. With the help of the cloud service providers, you just hire the private cloud and store your important information. Now let us see what are the benefits that are present in the private cloud. A private cloud benefits are high security and privacy. Here the private cloud operations are not available to general public. So it is not providing every information to the public, and resources are shared from distinct pools of resources. Okay, and therefore it ensures high security and privacy. So the main advantage of using the private cloud is it's a high security and privacy, and more control will be there, because it has why we are saying it is private cloud is having more control, because it has more control on its resources and hardware than public cloud, because it is accessible only within an organization. We are accessing only within an organization means it's having the high security. Whenever you place the data on the public, then the security will be less. You can't ensure that your data will be maintained privately. So if it is maintained within an organization, then more control will be there. Next is cost and energy efficiency is there for private cloud. The resources are not as cost effective as resources in public. So whatever the resource that we are using in public, so these resources are not cost effective as resources in public, but they offer more efficiency than public cloud resources. So these are all the benefits of this private cloud. So the private cloud is having high security and privacy, and it is having the more control on their cloud and the cost and energy efficiency. So it's having the disadvantages also. So what are the disadvantages of using private cloud? Restricted area of operation. So the first disadvantage is restricted area of operations. So what is this restricted area of operations? Here we cannot maintain our data globally. Means it is restricted. That is a private data. You can't expose that information to everyone. So it is a restricted area of operations. It cannot be deployed globally. And then another disadvantage is it is high priced. Why it is high priced? So purchasing new hardware to fulfill your demands is obviously costly. Even though you're taking the rent from the by using the third party, you're hiring the private cloud is also somewhat expensive when compared to this public. So it is another disadvantage is high priced if you're buying any new hardware to fulfill your demands to maintain the servers in your organization. And next one is limited scalability. So there is a limited scalability. So these are the disadvantages of using the private cloud. Thank you.